Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Wednesday, June 5th, 2024 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I trust in divinely appointed connection. And here we are, one day out from the new moon, and even before I sat down with the scope, I was just getting these impressions of connection. Connection, the divine timing of connection, friendship. I feel so kindred with all of you who watch me because there's resonance. And I have to tell you that I feel like every chart that I've done over the years, I've always found like, oh, here's where we connect. So I was feeling that way before I sat down to do the scope. And it's so funny. It's so funny when I get into that energy and things start flowing in. And what was flowing in today was Mr. Rogers. Which is interesting. I just kept hearing him saying, just by being you. And I had to look up what he said. And it says, you always make each day special, or each day a special day. I'm already paraphrasing Mr. Rogers. How dare me? You always make each day a special day. You know how? Just by being yourself. Just by being you. There's only one person in the whole world that's like you, and that's you. And that's what came through today when I was looking at today's astro. And it's beautiful because we have the moon moving into Gemini to join Jupiter, Mercury, Sun, and Venus. So we have 5 energies hanging out in the sign of Gemini, and it's a lot. But Gemini reminds us of connection. And so that is, I think, part of the importance of this new moon coming in on Thursday, to remember the energy of connection and to remember all the crazy synchronistic times that you've met people that feel like soul family, that feel connected, and how amazing it is in a world full of billions of people that we connect. And that connection is by you being you and them being them and having that, matching energy that just creates miracles. So, hello, Sun conjunct Venus, which is the energy I think I'm in right now. That's what that sounds like. But just reveling in the power of connection and opening ourselves up to it in this dark of the moon Gemini energy, which we'll get into some of that as well, and trusting in that divinely appointed unfolding. So that's the speech to begin this all. Holy cow, is this a lot of Gemini energy, and it may get a little chaotic even though we're in the dark of the moon, which can get a little hermity. I actually have the Hermit card on top today. You may want to go in, hermit yourself. I always love this card because it's like, remember what your own light feels like, not just like the infusion of energy from everybody else, but really like just tuning into yourself. That may be good because we are feeling the connections. I really believe, the theory of the web of life, that there is a cord that connects all of us in one way or another. And I think in challenging times, it's as important as ever to remember these things. And that you do make a difference just by being you. Here I go, Mr. Rogersing. So let's dig into this astro. Moon finishes up in Taurus today, connects with Neptune, 29 degrees on its way out. Ultimate lazy cat, this is in dream time. You may have some significant, interesting dreams. And just remember, with Neptune at 29 degrees, we're processing things from lifetimes. And you may find yourself processing out some of these energies that you don't necessarily have to play out in daylight, but are moving through and helping you experience and process in your dreams. So just keep that in mind, especially if you're having some weird dreams. You're like, where did that even come from? It came from the deep, dark past, the deep, dark underground, the deep, dark of the moon connecting to Neptune. Moon into Gemini at 1:36 a.m. Pacific time. Now, the new moon will be tomorrow. It'll be Thursday at 5:38 a.m. This moon is at 16 degrees. It's actually trining Black Moon Lilith, and Venus is still hanging out with the sun. So we'll have like Venus and the sun and the moon all kind of in tandem, working with Black Moon Lilith. Some strong yin energy, reminding us again, it's okay to receive. And again, I think that that's also receiving on the spiritual, psychic level, recognizing whether it's those who have departed, who we still have connections with, are messaging us, our guides, God, Spirit, Universe, angels, higher self, all of that energy, which can become a lot. Let's be fair and say it can become a lot, but all of that energy is connecting with you in perfect divine timing. And if you're struggling, if you're needing help, remember to ask for that support, because it is there and wanting to support. And I just think this new moon energy that we're in has that power, like I said, of making these connections. The first connection the moon is going to be making is with Pluto. That is going to be in the morning, so you may feel a little bombastic in the morning. You may feel like side-eyeing the universe. Again, remember, we're in the dark of the moon. But pretty soon after, we reach a connection with Jupiter, the moon and Jupiter. And hopefully, if you can empower your mind and empower whatever you're experiencing to the next place, I think that you can have a fairly beautiful day. We do have the moon and Mercury connecting also in the morning. And this may bring in working on the balance between the stories that we tell and then our emotional spirals. I think I've explained this before. My moon is in the 3rd house, and I learned a long time ago to really watch the stories that I was telling, because wow, I found my emotions running along right behind those stories. And if the story went went my emotions, and if the stories went then went my emotions. And the stories didn't have to be true or false, right? Like, whoa, just very interesting. So be aware of that connection in the morning, and then it gets kind of quiet. Like I said, good time for some hermiting, some digging in, some tuning in. What are you wanting to connect to in the universe in this new moon energy? What are going to be your intentions? And also noticing, again, what stories are wanting to play out at this time. We've got some beautiful transformation energy, but this is going to require some control. This is the King of Swords card, and this is like being the master of your mental domain. So watch for this transformation energy and where you're being called to put a little love in your heart. We have the Lovers, and this feels like a connection to my feeling of connection today, and just the divine orchestration of who comes in and goes out of our lives at any given timing. So take a little time to connect with those who you were like, I dig you. That's so nice. We also have the Playfulness card. And, you know, all this Gemini energy, Gemini just wants to have fun. It just wants to laugh. It just wants to have those connections. Make a little time for that. There's a little time for your inner hermit, and there's a little time for the playful part of you that needs and wants a little joy. So, just watch the talky, watch the frenetic states, watch that other people who maybe are not as aware are definitely in the squirrel twirl zone and might not exactly know what they're doing. Just keep your awareness around you and stay grounded as much as possible in this. By Friday, we'll have the moon moving into Cancer and be on a whole other roller coaster. So that's it for today. You can book a reading with me. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com, if you would like to make a connection and dig deeper into your personal chart. And besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power. And remember who you are, for you are the solution. Namaste.